Hey, what's going on, guys? Tane the Digital Realtor with eXp Realty here, and today I'm bringing you guys August market update. However, I'm doing things differently moving forward, and here's what I mean by that. You'll probably see there's a beer next to me, right? And the reason that beer is there is because one, I love beer, and two, is because moving forward, what I'm doing is reviewing beers and drinks that I like in the beginning of the video. And while I'm drinking it, enjoying it, I'm gonna be going over the market report, all right? The reason why I'm doing that is because I think it's important to my viewers and audience out there to be able to see a personal side of me outside of real estate. And as you could probably tell in the past videos, you weren't getting much of that, right? Because I'm wearing dress shirt, suit, tie, my usual self, being professional, right? But there is more to me than just that. And I think it's important for you guys to be able to see that. So that's how I'm gonna be able to do that. And maybe, who knows, I'm a foodie person, so maybe down the road, I'll change this to brews, food, and real estate. But as of right now, we got brews and real estate. So let's start off with this. The first beer for this first episode I got is this right here. All right, I don't know, for the people that's never tried it, this is delicious. And you may think I'm pronouncing it funny, but my wife's German and this is a German beer, so I gotta pronounce it right so she doesn't get all upset. So the name of this is Perlenbacher, all right, and it's a hefeweizen beer, all right. And I love German beer. For the people that's ever been to Germany, the breweries over there are historical. They go back like 500 plus years, right? It's amazing. So like, what if you've been to Munich? I was in Munich and we tried all sorts of different breweries that's been around since the 1400s, 1500s, which is crazy to think about it, right? And the reason why German beers are so good and very popular is because it's simple, right? They have, and what I mean by that is they have simple ingredients, all right? It's very different from the US. And correct me if I'm wrong, but my father-in-law taught me this, but in Germany they have what's called a Reinheitsgebot, and essentially they have laws in place to make sure that beers are only with simple ingredients such as water, barley, and hops. And this has been going on for about 500 plus years, since the 1516, where it started in Bavaria. So I don't know how much they enforce it, right? But this is what I've been told. And from every brewery that I've been to in Germany, that's how it felt, right? The taste is amazing, very crisp. And yeah, so let's get started. So Perlenbacher hefeweizen beer, all right? So you can get this from Lidl. So if you try Googling this, you may not have the best luck, because I believe this is a newer version, because every time I tried Googling it, you were seeing a bunch of different Perlenbacher beer. But yeah, just go to Lidl, and they may even have this at Aldi, but yeah, that's where I got it from. I was trying to Google this, I could give you guys the link, but I couldn't find it. But if you go to Lidl, you'll be able to get it. So let's check this out. All right. All right. Nothing better than having a nice cold beer on a Sunday and going over real estate, all right? And on future episodes, I'm gonna have guest agents from other states as well join me. And essentially, since it's all COVID right now, we gotta do everything virtually. But take a look at this. Look at that. Yeah, let's try this. That is delicious. So hefeweizen, right? It's tastes very weedy, right? It's got a little tangy taste to it, and it's really good. So I highly recommend you go check this out. I love German beer, but all sorts of beer, but this is definitely one of my favorite is hefeweizen, and it's the way they make it. It's very, very good. So highly recommend it, guys. So now let's get into real estate. All right. Hampton Roads Real Estate. All right. First things first, that's what we're going over. So just keep that in mind, Hampton Roads of Virginia. So all this data I get from REIN MLS, all right? And this month's data is crazy, all right? Now it's kind of, August, I meant, sorry. But, excuse me. I was kind of expecting this, to be quite honest with you, because of the fact that what I've been seeing going on a daily basis. You know, I on a daily basis, I'm working with buyers and sellers, and I'm seeing this crazy market out there where people are paying over asking, no closing cost assistance whatsoever, right, in certain cases. And I speak to other agents from other states, and from, you know, in states like New York, I've heard of stories where people are paying over $60,000 over asking price. You know, I don't personally see that happening here in Hampton Roads due to the fact that, you know, it needs to appraise at the end of the day, right? And since we have a lot of VA loans around here, I see the VA being able to kind of mitigate that from happening, all right? So just keep that in mind. But as of August 2020, in comparison to last year, August 2019, we've seen this is gonna be insane, but we've seen a decline in active listings by 42.15. That's crazy numbers. And July's was 38.4. So we've seen a 4% increase in decline, right, in active listings. And a lot of this, again, has to do with what's going on around the world right now, right? We're seeing rates at an all-time low. Like, I seen someone get 2% recently. Like, that's insane, all right? And yeah, that's essentially what's going on. Is you've got a ton of buyers out there that are being able to purchase it with 2% interest rates, whatever the case might be. You got a ton of buyers going out there. And it also has a lot to do with people going under contract more too. So like, we've seen a increase in pending sales for August 2020 by 34.78%, which is great. It's definitely great. It's a nice seller's market right now. I look like a weirdo not grabbing this by the handle, right? Yeah, so for the growth in pending sales, right, in comparison to last month in July, it was 25.33%. So we've seen that increase by a solid, nice 8 to 9%, right? So, which is, it's definitely a great market for sellers out there, and for buyers too. It's very interesting because, you know, the rates are at all-time low and people are able to purchase, they have more buying power, but at the same time, what you're running into are where people are paying over asking. So it is definitely more of a seller's market here in Hampton Roads, in my opinion, and from what the data is showing. You know, it's just less inventory. The supply and demand is crazy right now. So if you are a seller that is thinking about selling within the next 6 to 8, 9 months, right, I would highly recommend you speak to a professional right now, see where you stand, right? And from there, you can decide if it makes more sense for you to continue holding on to it, or if it makes more sense to sell it now, depending on what your motivations are and why you're looking to sell, right? And if you're thinking about purchasing, I'm not saying don't go out and purchase. However, just know with every upturn, there's always a downturn. So as of right now, people are paying over asking and, you know, not really getting the best terms if you're on the buyer side. You are getting the home that you want. However, if it's not really necessary, then maybe hold off for a little. Who knows, right? It all depends on the scenarios you're in. So if you really need a purchase, you got to do it. That's it at the end of the day, right? So I'm not saying to not go out and buy, but just knowing the facts that it is definitely a seller's market out there. You really don't have much options. So to me, I think of, for my buyers, if you're not in a rush and you don't need to buy, I'm going to advise you to hold off a little longer, see how the market turns out, right? Especially if you don't need to purchase. And because at the end of the day, I want you to be able to get the home that you truly desire, not have to be competing with multiple offers and not, getting into the hang of things, not really the home that you want, right, at the end of the day. So, but yeah, if you're selling, go out there and definitely speak to a professional. Feel free to reach back out to me if you want a free market analysis, no obligations whatsoever, and I'll consult you and tell you exactly what your options are, and then you can decide what's the best for you and your family, right? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to do anything unless it made sense anyways. You may think that with this low inventory we got going on that, eventually we're going to run out of supply, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately, and it's very unlikely in my opinion, because at the end of the day, you are going to have a ton of agents out there that are working hard, such as myself, to bring in more inventory, and then you're always going to have a bunch of these for sale by owners as well. And by the way, if you're for sale by owner, you can now is definitely the time to try to sell for sale by owner because of the low inventory. However, it's a double-edged sword, and here's what I mean by that, because I am seeing a lot of for sale by owners sell on their own. However, I have also seen where for sale by owners end up working with me and they end up getting a lot more than what they were even expecting, right? So, like, I just closed on the deal where they were initially asking for $205 for sale by owner. We ended up getting $225,000 while after it was listed, and we also paid 1% only in closing cost assistance. And I also had another deal where we got $20,000 over the original price that they had in mind, and we also only paid $1,000 in closing cost assistance, right? These are things that people tend to forget, because you think because you're going for sale by owner, you're going to be saving money on the commission side. However, you forget the fact of the matter is that you actually get more eyeballs when you're working on it through a professional such as myself or another realtor. And the more eyeballs you get on it, the higher the chance of you getting multiple offers and actually getting a bidding war going where you can actually get more money for your home. So that's how that works. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely sell as a for sale by owner, but you need to explore the options out there, right? Because with the strong market right now, I have seen people leaving money on the table, unfortunately, because they are not pricing it properly. I do this on a daily basis, and I know exactly how much a home should be priced. And in comparison to somebody that just might, sell a home every 7 to 8 years on their own, they don't exactly know what to price the property at and what their possibilities are. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right, and settled sales we've seen for August 2020 in comparison to last year August, we've seen a growth of 15.37%, which is insane because again, we're seeing an increase in almost everything except the new construction sales. But last month we had 14.21, and this goes to show it's going to be it's a nice steady upturn right now, but who knows what it's going to be in a couple of months, right? I foresee this lasting a little while. Just a little hard to kind of guess where, visualize where it's going to be, because I remember when this first started, COVID I'm talking about, I thought that it was going to be it's going to take a huge downturn for us personally, but it has been a crazy market. We've seen the median sales price increase by 7.84% year over year, which typically takes a couple of years or two to 3 years to get that to happen, right? And usually the real estate market begins to slow down as the summer months wind down and vacation wraps up and the kids head back to school. But if 2020 has taught us anything, it's not really usual, right? We have a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, and our region's sales remain strong, and there's no sign of the market slowing down as of right now. But who knows how it's gonna be, right? I'm hoping it keeps it up, and I'm hoping it gets a little more balanced out a little bit, because I hate seeing buyers out there that are also bidding as high as they can, but they're losing out on many opportunities, right? And it has nothing really to do with them. It's just really low inventory right now. So personally, I deal with more sellers, but you know, it's interesting. So usually, you know, the market will start slowing down as some months wind down, vacations, less, you know, people getting off vacation, kids heading back to school. But if 2020 has taught us anything, this is not the usual. And who knows what's gonna happen, because certain areas, they're not going back to school yet, right? They're doing virtual. So let's see how things are gonna turn out. But typically it does slow down. But as of right now, we're not seeing a sign of slowing down, which is very interesting. Because I wanna see how long this will last. I wanna be able to be riding it all the way up. And I also would like to continue riding it up when it takes that downturn. So yeah, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. The next month, I'm going to have a realtor from a different state join, and essentially they're gonna be having their own beer as well, going over their own market update, what's going on. So this way you guys get a good insight of what's going on in other states, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you saw value from this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel, and help me reach that goal, please. I would much appreciate it. Thank you very much, and cheers everybody.